Are you tired of this happening to you? Does the shame of your constant failures weigh heavy on your soul? Good news! I have compiled a list of 10 easy steps to take you from noob to pro in seconds. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first step to getting good at Battlebit is having a good setup, and that's what we have right here. This is a great setup for beginners. I highly recommend it. We have the Scorpion Evo. I could find it for just 1 second. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, it's kind of a high unlock, but I think for new players it should be pretty obtainable. The build is the BCM grip, the ACOG 4X scope. Don't even bother with the Canon sight. And of course we have a rangefinder on the side. Now we're going to get into why this is a good setup later for your primary, but yeah, that's the basic setup I run pretty much every game. Yeah, for the secondary, we're going to go for the Unica. So the Unica is a very accurate pistol. Yeah, that's about it. The bandages, need those. We also want the M320 smoke grenade launcher, very important to this build. And for our grenades, we want to take a flashbang. I'm running a medic right now, so I can't pick my secondary gadget. So we're going to have a med kit with us. But this is the basic setup right here, guys. Win every game with this setup right here. Okay, so I just want to go over how the recoil in this game works real quick. So you see right here, we have 3 numbers. It's our vertical recoil, our horizontal recoil, and our first shot kick. So for our recoil to be basically non-existent, we want to have our vertical recoil set about as high as we can get it. So you can see if we turn it off, it actually lowers our vertical recoil, and that gives us, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it gives us actually more felt recoil. So we want to get the BCM gunfighter grip. It gives us the most vertical recoil reduction. And yeah, that's what we're going to be running right now with you. All right, so here's a great example. So our first rule, or our second rule really, is going to be always flashbang your teammates. And I'm going to get into the logic behind doing this in just 1 second. So you see our teammates right here. We're going to flashbang them. And basically the logic here is that enemies are going to be close to your teammates. Like, it's just a fact. You go towards the enemies come towards your teammates. And so every time you flash a teammate, like this guy with the tandem RPG, that's actually, like, you're actually increasing the chances that you're going to be flashbanging one of your teammates. And yeah, so basically, another thing you have to keep in mind with the flashbangs are that your enemies are going to stay flashbanged about twice as long as your friendlies. So there's really no downsides to flashbanging your teammates. You want to do it every time. So yeah, just always use those flashbangs as soon as you see a teammate. And yeah, you'll actually be pretty golden. That usually is going to bump your KD up like at least by 0.5 at least. So you see we got a bunch of guys right here. We're just going to flashbang them and run away. All right, that's great. All right, so our next rule is going to be, and this is especially important as a medic, it's going to be actually to ignore down players. And again, the reasoning behind this might seem a little counterintuitive at first, but think about it, right? So when you're a medic and you're stopping to help out your teammates, what are you doing? You're stopping. Your gun's out of the fight. You're stopping. You're actually, you're actually being a detriment to your team when you do that. You're just a liability, and you should stop playing if you do that as a medic. So yeah, it's the first thing we're gonna do. In this advance, we're just gonna keep moving up, and yeah, we're just gonna ignore anyone who's down. These guys, we're not gonna stop and help them out. We might walk towards them to kind of fake them out, get a kill, easy kill right there. Basically no effort. We're neutralizing the orders, and if we stopped to bandage that guy earlier, we wouldn't be doing any of this. This all wouldn't be possible if we had actually stopped and bandaged that guy. So very important, probably the most important rule you can follow, and your teammates love it. So yeah, right now all my teammates are dead, and I'm sure that has nothing to do with me. But we're actually going to go around, and you see we actually have a great opportunity right here. So you can see we actually have this vehicle right here, and it's actually a great opportunity. You see how it's behind this blue line? This is actually such a great opportunity because what this is a spawn vehicle. Now what we want to do right now is we want to deploy on this spawn vehicle and move it. And what we want, why we're doing this is really important. because if you just do it and you don't understand it, you might as well just, you know, stop playing Battlebit because you're a fucking rank 1 worm. What we're going to do is take this and move it. Someone got in it. This guy actually has already watched the guide, and he's doing it for me. This is actually really great. We're going to take this jet ski and drive away. Now, some people might turn around and say, hey, isn't that recon player using this for a spawn point? And yeah, you're right. But also, he's a recon player, so he doesn't deserve any respect or love. All right, so for our next tip, we are going to be, so what is it? It is snipe in obvious places. So we're going to get it right up here on top of this little table, and we're going to start sniping. This is basically a sniper rifle, guys. We're threading some shots in. We actually got a headshot right there. Unlucky that didn't get a kill. And the whole key right here is basically just to squeeze off singles. And you see, once we pull off 2, it's kind of hard. But that's basically what you want to be doing as a medic. And that might sound a little stupid, saying like, oh, you want to snipe in obvious places. But think about it. What are the enemy snipers going to be looking for? They're going to be looking for players in like hard... We can move a spawn car right here, actually. But they're going to be looking for snipers in like hard to see areas that are actually like well camouflaged and everything. That's where they're going to be looking by default. So when you go to these obvious places to snipe, what you're actually doing is you're going to be subverting their expectations and actually getting more kills that way. All right, so our next tip is going to be to always look down when advancing. So you see across this open field, if we just run across here like that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a big... Like, look how easy this guy would be to shoot if I wanted to. Like, so what we want to do is we want to first look down, and we want to hold Alt, and then also look down as far as we can. So as we're going to do this, we're going to hold Alt, press Shift, and run. And now we're actually a really hard target. All right, so remember, keep that head down when you're advancing. And it might seem kind of hard at first, but that's part of the skill disconnect between, like, crappy new players and seasoned veterans like myself. You see that guy just got out-sniped. This is actually a really good tip. So what we want to do is we want to be smoking our teammates like that. Smoke directly on our teammates. We actually just saved our teammate's life right there. Smoke those guys. And what we want to do is we basically just want to provide cover for our teammates. Direct cover, smoke directly on them. That basically makes it impossible to hit them. And it's actually really good for them. And so what we want to do right now, we got a good little position. We're just going to smoke our teammates.
Don't be pussy.
You can smoke your enemies too, but I feel like that's a little bit more unorthodox. We got a bunch of teammates over there. Just smoke them out real quick. Give them that cover they need to advance. Let's see here. All right, so we've been smoking our teammates. We've been sniping in obvious places. We've always looked down. We've ignored down players, moved spawn vehicles, flashbang teammates. The next thing we're going to do is actually go into our settings, and we are going to go to the right settings in video, and we're going to turn our FOV all the way up. Now what this is going to do, it's going to give us better field of view so we can actually see around corners, and it's actually going to make recoil a little easier. So we actually just pulled off a double kill right there. That's how good this weapon is. And we're just going to keep our max FOV on. Pretty short, little easy tip to play better. Is always play with maximum FOV in every single game ever. I'm not going to go that way. The next tip is it's a pretty important one. The next thing we need to do is we actually need to put suppressing fire down on snipers. Now you can see we're actually losing pretty bad here, but that's okay because when we start doing this next tip, we're gonna have a comeback. You guys know how it is, and we actually have a sniper right here. So what we're gonna do is get behind this corner, slowly peek out, and then start trying to thread shots in at him. We actually got a hit. That's actually really good. He's moving. He's scared. He's terrified. Spawn our teammate. Don't heal them up, even though we're a medic. Just run right by them. Keep moving up. Another down teammate. We're just going to stand over them. Make them think that we might pick them up. And so you can see when we actually suppress those snipers, It gave our teammates here enough cover to actually move up and start contesting the point. That's the kind of plays you want to be making. That's how you become a good player in Battlebit, basically. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to go into a recon squad here. We're going to drop into support, and yeah, so the next thing, our next goal here, our final tip is going to be you want to take a heavy machine gun like this. And so recon players, they're very vulnerable, right? They don't have much armor at all. They very rarely get infantry support. So what we want to do here, like our final tip to be a good teammate, is just to immediately spawn on recon and start lighting everything up. So we want to start just laying into everybody, giving them some suppressing fire and moving up. And that'll actually really help out our team. We'll advance here. And we got another recon right here. We can go ahead and give them some suppressing fire. And we actually have a sniper, right? We have like a sniper scope on our gun too, so it's basically like, we basically have like a sniper rifle, so. And so yeah, guys, that's my top 10 tips for becoming a great player in Battlebit. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you didn't enjoy this video, I'm sorry, but you're doomed to be a noob forever.